Welty, that's a dab.
Don't do it.
Really?
I don't think you're ready for this, Welty.
Should I lick it off the Hot Ones Reeboks?
Yes.
Are you serious?
I mean, if you're gonna do it in style, make it look sexy. But come on, bro, don't do it. Just because you're doing push-ups doesn't mean your lungs is ready for this. Oh man.
Whoa.
Oh God! What the hell?
Oh.
What are you, a porn star? Jesus.
Oh. Oh.
You are not Fat Joe.
Goodness.
Oh.
That's a full size. That's a full size. She want every color. That's a full size.
Hello to every single member of the FS Army watching across the world. Of course, I'm your co-host, Brendan Dunne.
I'm Matt Welty.
Trinidad James.
And we have with us here today Sean Evans. He is a YouTube superstar. He's a co-worker, and he's a guy who got his own Reebok shoe before me. Sean, we're so happy to have you at last.
Thank you guys so much for having me on the show. I've got one on each foot here.
He's got a few Reebok sneakers. We're going to talk about all that. First thing I want to talk about, though, the shoes everyone has on feet. Welty, what are you wearing?
Going New Balance guy again today. Doing the Invincible X North Hollywood New Balance 2002 R. That's a mouthful for simple shoes.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. I finally got my Nike ISPA Road Warriors.
No.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, and the craziest thing about it is that you have to wear Margiela type tabby socks with this shoe.
I don't have to do shit.
Nike. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Get right. Go ahead. Continue. I'm happy.
So I went with one of each. So we're doing the Reebok Hot Ones collab over here. I got the Club C right here, and then I got the Classic right here.
Very tasty, very spicy. I'm also repping the home team. Got the Reebok Club C's on feet. Super spicy Scoville special. Shout out to everybody involved. Chris, Sarah, Dom, Sean himself, of course. Guys, let's talk sneaker news. First thing we want to discuss is the upcoming Supreme Nike SB Dunk Low that leaked this past weekend. I don't think we need these. The blue doesn't look quite right to me. Sean, I have to ask, did you ever get caught up in the Supreme hype? Were you lining up on Lafayette?
No, I think being from Chicago and then coming into New York as a transplant, it felt a little like I'd be faking it or something. I think being from where I'm from, St. Alfred, or if I'm gonna rep anything, it would be like St. Alfred or Leaders or RSVP Gallery or something that came out of Chicago. I think that's all that makes sense. I would feel like a poser moving to New York and then jumping on the Supreme wave.
They never asked you to fill in for Emily Oberg in one of those Supreme lines back in the Complex News days?
No, I think I did. I think I did a Supreme Line video, and I was on location for a couple of those Emily Oberg things, but that was one of the better Complex News things. One of the better shows. Made something out of racks,
R.I.P. The show, not Rax. He's very much alone.
Yeah. I was like, uh-oh, did I not know something?
As far as I know.
Man. I like this colorway, just to put it out there. It's 3 other colorways along with this one. And we got to see, this is such early pictures that we've learned the hard way that when we start judging things early, we always have to end up putting our hands, feet, and toes in our mouth.
I think it will be good, but they only run the risk of kind of devaluing the legend of the first one, which is such like a great shoe. So we'll see how these live up to the hype. Like the Supreme collabs recently haven't done so well, but we'll see, right? Next bit of sneaker news. Everyone's favorite rapper / sneakerhead, Travis Scott, has a pair of Dunk Lows coming out in conjunction with the PS5. Sean, are you here for the Travis Scott sneaker hype?
I actually do like them. I mean, I think with like the ones, they have so much hype. I don't exactly know what he did other than flip the Nike sign. Maybe you guys can clue me in on that. I don't get that. But these, looking at them, I immediately was like, I think I might have to get these. I really like that shoe.
Are you out here pursuing limited sneakers like that, Sean?
I don't chase anything down. On Saturdays and Sundays when Dunne, you tweet about how let down you are that you couldn't get whatever you... I don't know that world at all.
To come into the game. This is a Welty story for everybody.
Stories again.
To come in like we did the XXL freshman together with Travis, and to see the trajectory of the things that he's done. PlayStation, McDonald's, all these different big, huge collabs that he's doing. I think it's just amazing to see someone start someplace and then it turned into all these things that it's been doing or whatever. So I'm just super proud that I definitely want this and the PS5. I don't know which one I want more, but I'm about both of them. Let me say that much.
Man, that's kind of how I feel watching our coworker Sean Evans and his meteoric rise. I gotta say, no more Travis Scott sneakers in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. I've seen too many of them.
Sean, let's talk sneakers personally. When did you have those first encounters in Chicago where like sneakers kind of like mattered to you?
I do remember on the playground, Jordans were a big deal. Also, Adidas Samba shoes. Those were a big deal on the playground. Like when I was in fourth grade, those were
That's
huge.
my favorite Adidas. One of them at least. Samba.
Yeah, Airwalks pretty big on the playground at South Elementary, I remember. Jordans were obviously a huge deal. And on Christmas, if you were opening a Christmas present and you saw that silver box with the Jumpman on it, you knew that that was just a very exciting sort of moment for you. I do remember that it was a little rebellious, though, not to go Jordan. Jordan was so ubiquitous, so huge in Chicago that for me, Dennis Rodman was a more likable figure, something that I was drawn to a little bit more. And I remember the best shoes that I ever bought were the Worms. It had a zipper that went up the front. I remember getting those fresh out of the box, putting those on, zipping them up, and then going out to my driveway and just pulling down rebounds. Just missing the ball off the rim and then pulling down the rebounds,
Did it help your stats out? Did you feel like they gave you that advantage?
Well, it's a fun, exciting thing. When you pull them fresh out of the box, you do feel faster. You feel like a different person sometimes. Around that time is when Allen Iverson got drafted. So those question sneakers, too, had a huge wave. And then, to his credit, Pippen had an amazing run of sneakers as well, too. So
for sure.
So sneakers really did hit me in a major way. And I think it all coincides with that Bulls run.
I thought you, being a White Sox fan, that you would have had the Frank Thomas Big Hurt shoes back in the day.
I did. I had the Big Hurt cleats back in the day. And then he did have, I remember those Reeboks, I had those too, that they were kind of striped up like a zebra kind of.
Yeah.
The Frank Thomas
Reebok's
Reeboks.
office and demand those for the collab?
Hopefully it can get to that point. Hopefully we sell through this first run and then we can just start doing different collabs with all those classic. But the Sean Kemp Kamikazes, I remember I had those too, actually. That's a dream of mine, to somehow Hot Ones collab those Frank Thomas cleats. Bring it all full circle.
Full circle on that one. Sean, for the people out there who don't know, I feel like we've known you before the Hot Ones. We started working together like 2013, 2014. I remember you were freelancing for Complex Style, writing like the most stylish baseball players sort of articles. But when you first came to Complex, you joined the news team. You were with people like we already mentioned, like Emily Oberg, Jinx, Speedy, kind of like a fashion forward sort of crew. Did that make you want to step up your own sneaker game when you got to the Complex office?
I want to say it almost had the opposite effect. I think that because maybe that's it, or, everyone's like so nerdy about it. When it comes to that kind of office competition, I think I fully rejected it. I kind of like what I like, and if, whether it's like shoes or jackets or hoodies or whatever, and kind of like just get them in 4 colors and then not think about it. But you do start to think, once you're getting your picture taken all the time, once you're on camera all the time, you do have to think about how am I going to package this in a way that makes sense for people. So that's made me think about it more, but I think the inner office competition of it all was something I rejected.
You got the tunnel vision. You put on the brown APC Dunks, the Sean Evans signature sneaker, and you never look back.
Some of my favorite shoes ever were those APC Dunks. I love those shoes so much. And it's like Zuckerberg just wearing the same thing every day. That's kind of how I am.
I think we just need to clarify that, though, for the audience. You had a pair of brown APC Dunks that you wore for probably like 2 years straight, like every single day to the office, like to the heel.
Turned
was
the weed into
like
bread.
dragged.
He cooked them.
I did. And then what I liked about those shoes is like the more you fuck them up, the better they look.
Sean, I want to talk about some other Nikes. I know you have the Reebok collaboration coming out, but there was kind of a low-key, maybe totally not above board Nike Air Force One Hot Ones collection from 2017. What are the origins of that?
Look at you, Dunn. Look at you. So
Look at us.
Look, who would have thought?
Wow, this is good.
Chris Schoenberger, who's the creator of Hot Ones and who I work with on the show the last 5 years, his brother Nick got a job at Nike. So he was on the campus out there in Portland. I think they made 3 pairs, one for me, one for Chris, one for Sarah Honda. And I think they were just limited to that. I put them in a little case because that was, I think, the first time it just felt like something special came through.
Did you ever wear them?
No, I haven't worn them once. I've never worn them. I'm not against it. I think I would, but they're just kind of special. I don't want to mess them up.
Yeah.
Plus, they are just straight white.
They can bury you in them or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you remember the last time you had to go hard for some sneakers, but a sneaker made you like, wow, like, hey, Dunne, hey, Joe, hey, anybody, like, I need this.
The last thing that I stood in a line for was like so long ago. There were these camo Air Force One, like GT or something like that. And I remember
the VacTech one, maybe with the bubble in the sole.
Yeah. And I did stand in line for those outside St. Alfred. I just, the way that they were just pictured, it just caught me. Like now I kind of just sit back and like the stuff that gets sent around to me or something. And if I like it, then that becomes a thing that's in my closet.
Speaking of things that get sent to you, I remember walking around the office one day and you were at your desk and you had a big box of like Adidas stuff and you were like, hey Welty, is any of this good? Should I wear it? It seems that you kind of became an Adidas influencer. How did that happen?
I mean, since then, it's blossomed nicely. There's this place out in LA, and sometimes they'll just invite you out there. It's like in some industrial park in Los Angeles. So it's as close to Christmas as you can get as an adult. They just let you walk through and kind of just grab whatever you want, and then you'll walk out of there with 3 bags that like you can't get through the doorway sort of situation. So that Adidas thing has blossomed into a very nice thing, a nice perk for sure.
Now that you're a famous person, do you get hooked up with free sneakers a lot? Like, do you have more plugs than us, do you think? Like, are they coming in pretty regularly?
There are those little things where, you know, you walk through a gifting suite. Gifting suite, that's like my favorite word. It's like a little circle. You just go around the room, people tell you about stuff, and then it's like trick-or-treating as an adult.
Yeah, or the grocery
so
store
happens.
game show where you put everything in the cart.
Yeah, and I'm just like... If you're watching this and you're some brand partnership ambassador, director or whatever, that stuff works because I was running forever in Nike Freeze and I was getting this crazy arch pain and I thought I was just getting old or whatever. But then I went through the Adidas thing, got a bunch of boosts, started running in the boosts, and that problem went away. So now...
Wait, is this stripes over checks?
I'm stripes over checks. It converted me. You know, it's probably not a thing that I would have explored if not for this thing. Now here I am on a successful YouTube show talking about stripes over checks. So nobody even had to write a check to me. Like, no, there's no bag. I was converted just by trying out the product and putting it on my feet. But now I'm like ride or die with boosts.
I love the moment where you called us a successful YouTube show. That's so important. If you could say it to the camera again, please convince all your fans to come over here and watch this show. That would be perfect.
Hey, hit that subscribe button, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment.
Yes, perfect.
We're doing it out here. By the way, I am subscribed. I am subscribed.
Thank you very much.
Something else I want to ask you is that I remember we've been kind of like planning on doing this show for a while, and I remember talking to you early on, and one of the things you said you wanted to talk about on the show is how corrupt you think sneaker media is, how much without morals you think sneaker journalists are. They'll say anything is dope for a free pair of sneakers, so just go off. You have the floor.
Roast us.
Yeah.
Roast
Talk
us.
about it. Talk about it.
I'd love for us to have this two-way conversation because, Welty, we've had this conversation just in the halls before. Being in Complex, like being around guys like you, Russ Bankson, like you end up kind of seeing this world. I noticed that there's just such a social hierarchy over like who gets these releases and who gets those releases and this party or that thing or whatever. And I'm just sitting back here as a casual going, hey, isn't it your job to approach this with some objectivity or something. Like, it just does seem to be the most corrupt media genre. And I think it's because everybody just wants free shoes. How do you be critical? How do you be objective if this is the atmosphere of what's going on in sneaker media? I don't know if it's true or not even. I'm just wondering what you guys think of that. Welty, I do think, though, that you agree with me.
You've never, like, yourself, because I remember, like, one of your first interviews at Complex is, like, you're interviewing 2 Chainz about his Adidas top 10. And that doesn't, like, put in your mind a little bit, like, hey, if I'm going to go interview 2 Chainz about his Adidas shoe, and even if I don't like it, maybe I should just suck up to them a little bit.
He tried to flip it on you.
I'm just putting it in perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can agree that
response.
I've definitely said there's things that I like that I didn't like. I'll 100% admit that to keep a relationship.
Yeah, right. And I'll respond to that. I'm saying, you know, if somebody's doing press, they'll do it because they have a thing. There are certain hurdles that you just have to jump through in order to get that access. And that's a totally transparent understanding between everyone involved. Just like when we have a movie star on Hot Ones and they have a movie coming out, and that's why they're on a press run. You can't just ignore that movie. You can't just ignore that thing. There has to be like a give and take.
I mean, I will say one thing about it. For me, before I did this show per se, I've always been a sneaker hype beast per se, or just a sneaker enthusiast, however you want to look at it, right? Just because we skip on shoes all the time on this show. We skip on shoes in real life all the time. But somebody designed that shoe. It's very rare that you get to honestly hear the true opinion of things from somebody face to face when it comes to your art piece. Reselling sneakers is what made it kind of nasty.
Yeah, and I actually, something that I like that point that you made about it being artwork, because I often see it that way too, even if on an eyeball test level, I'm like, oh, I'd never wear those. Sometimes I hear a little bit more about the context and why it was made this way and what goes on and what went into it. And even doing the process with Reebok and the details and stuff that people wouldn't notice unless it kind of gets explained to you in an accessible way, that does open it all up.
No, I agree. We're all totally corrupt. We've all done stuff. We've all resold shoes that we've gotten. And with that said, Sean, have you ever resold sneakers?
No, never in my life. It looks like too big a pain in the ass. Like when I see you guys walking around with boxes and on your lunch break running over the UPS store
Allegedly.
and stuff, I don't know. I think I would just, if I didn't want something, I think I would just give it away or give it to somebody or something like that. Like the tracking somebody down, the payment through a third party, getting it to them, that sort of thing. That just sounds like another thing to manage, and I couldn't do it.
All right.
Dunne, what is your snapshot of sneaker media? I'm interested in your perspective on it.
Yeah, I would just say that we do push really hard for people to be critical, and I think that was missing in the first era of it, and I do think the context matters so much with every single shoe, so I think that there are corrupting forces, but I think we have to fight against that every single day.
Yeah, they could be a politician, or at least write the speech for a politician. Okay.
Go vote. Sean, listen, you mentioned the obligations when you sit down with a subject, and of course we are here to talk, most importantly, about your Reebok sneakers. You have 3 coming. This is the Hot Ones X Reebok pack releasing on November 19th. We got some pairs in the mail already. Hey. Which pair is your favorite? How excited were you to make this happen?
It's awesome. It's just kind of crazy.
Did you feel guilty that I don't have a shoe yet?
Look at these.
Wait, I did send you stuff.
No. Like Brendan.
No, he wants his own shoe, Sean. He's being an asshole.
Oh,
I mean,
I got your shoe.
They got the Scoville unit on the tongue tag.
My favorite on foot is the Club C, but I like the Shaqnosis for all that it is. I think it really embodies the show and even the Shaq episode, where everything in it is just like so cranked up, and then the details, like from like the chicken wings on the bottom to even it being like sort of milk-like with the colorway on the mild one, and then the Shaq one representing the super spicy heat of it all. Everything has such a purpose, and it all winks back at Hot Ones. So
the packaging,
I'm super proud of it.
is great. Like honestly, like everyone like says that, but the packaging on this
this is such crazy. A meta moment. He got on here talking about how all everybody wants to do is big up each other's sneakers, and then Welty.
What?
This is full corrupt sneaker media at its finest.
Oh, man.
I'm watching it in action.
Sean, I must ask though, what made you go Shaq over Deshaun Kemp?
I don't know what gag order I'm under, but let me just say this. Maybe some stuff is coming out in the spring.
Oh?
Oh,
Something hot, something cool?
Maybe a little both. Maybe something's going on. Maybe this is a taste.
All right, let's sell these out. Come on, guys, let's go. Midnight.
Yeah.
On the 18th.
Hopefully we
sell
sell.
these out.
Hopefully we sell through and just keep working our way through those.
speaking of sneaker media, were you mad when the shoes got leaked a couple of weeks ago?
It's weird because I was on such strict orders, like such strict lockdown orders, and then I'm just looking through Twitter and I see it, and I was like, oh, so I guess it's out. Weird that no one bothered to text me about it, you know. And then I found out
like everybody telling me to shut the hell up, and then I want to be the one to leak it. How the hell you gonna leak my shit? I got you.
Exactly. Like I'm like, I have them. I have this stuff. I felt like I had a lead on something, and then it got pulled out from under me. But overall, I think it's actually kind of a good thing. You know, like Soul Collector rival publications were putting this stuff out. To me, I was like, oh, cool. I'm like living through a sneaker hype moment where if we would have just put out a press release or something and like sent out the pictures, I don't know if people would have picked up on it. I think it's a positive, you know, even if I look at Flight Club right now, I see the Shacknosis with a listing, you know, and I'm like, does anybody even have those?
I promise you it's not my
like, how are they selling these already?
It's always better for somebody else to leak your nudes than you leak your own nudes. So
exactly. So to me, I think it was a positive.
You
licking your soft slathered lips. By the way, Sean, every single week here on the show, we punish someone in the worst take section for something terrible they did or said last week, as decided by the YouTube commenters. We make them switch out their shoes for something awful. Usually it's me because of some type of pun I made. This week it's me because people were upset that I guess I wore a non-sneaker 2 weeks in a row because the Reebok Beatnik doesn't classify as such. Fresh out the box Reeboks like a junkie, freshly detoxed, if you know what I mean. You people can't tell me what shoes to wear. I'm going to keep on doing it, but I have to switch out my shoes for something awful.
You people, oh my goodness.
Tell us in the comments who deserves that this week. These are my creative recreations. Sean, I feel like you may have had a pair of creative recreations at some point.
I don't think so.
He's not admitting to that.
I've never seen those ever in my life.
Do not trust that little man right there. Sean, we also do a segment on the show, man. It's called Drip, Flip, or Skip. You know, drip meaning that you wear it, flip meaning that you resell it, and then skip meaning that you do not rock with it at all. The first shoe in Drip, Flip, or Skip, sir, is going to be the Nike Air Max 90 Infrared for the 7,000th time. Sean, how do you feel about this shoe? You've seen it every time. What do you think?
I'm a big Air Max fan. So to me, this kind of looks classic in the colorway, classic in the design. I know that you guys are saying, oh no, another. So I have a feeling that this is going to be a roller coaster ride of a shoe. But for me, that's a drip.
I actually have a pair somewhere up here. I don't want to yank it out because it's all gonna.
No, come on, yank it out. It'll be good for camera.
Yank it.
Not that, but the shoes.
Yank it. Oh boy, you got up.
This is
shorts.
Yank it out. Yank it. He's in the yanking out angle right now.
Yank shorts.
Weird Welt Yankovic.
These are cooked.
Cooked. Oh, those 1990. What year is those?
2010. 2010. So 10 years old. But with that said, it's a drip. I already have them. It's one of those shoes that I don't know how things go nowadays, but like everyone would get super hyped when it first came out, but then you'd run out and buy it and then feel stupid because it would be in the store for like the next 3 months on sale. So I would say maybe wait.
You know what? I actually have 2 pair of these from the 2010 release still, and I'm not paying full retail, so for right now it's a skip. Sean, do you get a Scoville rating of these off the top of the head? That infrared color? Do you rough estimate?
Sure. We'll put it at 125,000 Scoville. You know, not the hottest thing in the world, but definitely not a table sauce. Somewhere on the spectrum.
Okay.
Nice. This is a skip for me. I don't think I've ever bought this shoe with my own money.
Whose money were you buying it with?
I'm not a big 90s Air Max 90 fan. I would ever I'm an Air Max 1 guy, 97, even 96, even 95. 90, I miss out on it.
This is beautiful.
Moving forward, we have some more Pharrell Adidas Hue MMD, the yellow pair. I'll start with my Adidas man here. Welty, talk to me.
I'm one of the only people in sneaker media, going back to that, who didn't get seated these shoes. So with that said, anyways, it's a skip.
Sean, you see how it is? You see how it is right here. When you don't get the shoes, you get shots thrown at you. You can't win in this shit, man.
It's dog eat dog over here. I was unaware. Here I am now, like right in the fire. I have a pair of these in a different color, and I like them a lot. So for me, that's a drip, hard drip. Plus, I think I have some other Pharrell Adidas. They're not those, but they're that color.
You know, I kind of feel like how Welty does in this one. I've seen them on the timeline so much, so I am already sick of them. Unless this is a collaboration with that American cheese sliced turtle that I've also seen on the timeline a bunch, I'm going to call it a skip.
Love that turtle. I can skip on these. You know what's interesting? I have not cared about a pair of NMDs since the first three. The green, the blue, the red, the Chanel pair. And I'm out. I'm out. Moving forward in the shoes, we have the Veneer Dunk Lows. These came out in 01 originally. Shout out to Brendan for letting me know that. Brendan, let's start with your drip flipper skip set.
You know what? I don't really need any suede dunks, so I'm skipping this one. I feel like I have enough dunks for right now.
I dig the shoe. I like the colors. I don't think I would wear it. It's, you know, I'm a little more understated, but the shoe, I respect the shoe, and for that reason, that's a drip to me. I don't know. There's something about it. It's got kind of like a Rugrats colorway or something like that. I like it.
Like Tommy Pickles.
It's a Reptar shoe. It's a skip. I think, you know, a lot of these original dunks are dope. This one looks too much like an Oscar the Grouch sort of looking shoe.
This reminds me of Ninja Turtle. This is a Donatello for me. It reminds me of the Donatello Mid SBs from back in the day. I love the colorway.
So we have Rugrats, Oscar the Grouch, and Donatello.
Yeah, it's a 90s cartoon shoe.
This works for me. I'm willing to pay a little resale for it. Hopefully, like in the range of like under 300 or whatever, somewhere like that. This is a drip for me. Sean, we also do outfits. And there are no better outfits to do on FSR than Sean Evans outfits. Outfit number 1, first pitch.
If anybody flips or skips this, you're a hater. That's that Murakami jacket. I've got the CPs, which I know that you guys probably don't dig, and then I've got like the oversized jersey. But I would say just on a first pitch fit level, this is as drip as it gets.
Okay, okay.
No, I remember this was Complex Con Chicago, which was huge for all of us, you know, and I remember seeing this and we're like, holy shit, Sean just threw out a first pitch before Complex Con even started. It's a drip, but just real quick, I want to ask you how many pair of Common Project sneakers you own, because I know it's a lot.
Big Sean Evans signature shoe.
I think I probably have 5 or 6, you know, just that same minimalist Achilles Common Project, just in every color.
You know, I would say it's a drip based off the bravery, because he's actually going to play a sport in this Common Project. And not a sports shoe, you know, a shoe for walking around in Soho, a shoe for trying to get a reservation at a nice restaurant or something like that. This is not a sports shoe, so it's a brave moment.
This is first pitch drip, baby. First pitch drip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, look at that leg form. Like, can you make your... I can't. That's amazing. amazing.
That's his Jumpman logo right there.
Outfit number 2.
History.
That's with Joe Budden and T-Pain. I don't necessarily look back on this era and think to myself, that was it. I think this is a trying to figure it out stage. You know, I think there's like a point that everyone goes through where you start off in the basement, then you kind of try to figure it out. So I think this is full-blown figure it out mode. But I will say this, I'm not the worst dressed guy in the picture.
Yeah. I mean, you're standing next to Joe Budden.
I'll flip it. I'm not going to skip it. I'll flip it because I like the picture and I like those guys so much. But I don't know. There's some things I would have done differently.
That's that sneaker media talk, Sean.
This is like a legendary era of complex media. I'm instantly drawn back to like walking into like the men's bathroom and smelling like cigarette butts from Joe just like champing them in the stalls. So, with that said, it's a drip.
I got a bunch more stories just like that, but we can't air them right now. But I'll just call it a drip, because also I do like the wheat Air Force Ones. It's a good sneaker still. Yeah.
This is just such an incredible picture, especially when you think of like trajectory and just what's going on. This is a drip, man. I'm not mad. This is media drip right here. Last but not least, in outfits. Let's go. All right, we're here
at
now.
the campus way before Drake did it.
Yeah, that was actually a super fun experience. Went down there. played lacrosse. I'm going to go drip. I mean, you can't put this one on me. I didn't pull it out of my closet or anything, but I think just in general, sportswear over the last couple of years has gotten so good. I think everybody is kind of killing it. Like if you put on a shirt, like you'll look kind of ripped, even if you're a little schlubby. The way that has progressed and changed over the years, sportswear is like killing it. And to me, this is a drip.
This
Hitting
is
the
killing
squat, playing lacrosse, this is killing it. I call it a drip. I would wear that vest even if I wasn't on a lacrosse field.
I must see you do an episode of Hot Ones with that vest on, Sean. I'm waiting on it.
Vest on.
I gotta call it a skip. The lax gear is just too affluent a lifestyle signifier for me. I'm way out of my tax bracket in so many ways, Sean. So I can't relate.
This is a drip. I think I remember when this happened, so it's like it takes you back. Full circle on that one. How crazy was your trip to the employee store? Did that happen?
I think the employee store experience is overrated, honestly. Like,
You go in, you get your socks, and you get out.
yeah, maybe that's the move, but I think, and maybe it's my fault, but I kind of romanticized that whole thing in my head. And sort of like a lot of people at Complex, like, oh, dude, maybe you'll go to the employee store, maybe this, maybe that. I walk in there, it's not like they have a bunch of new things at like 20% the cost or anything. They kind of just have the same stuff that would be in a Dick's Sporting Goods or something. Everybody was super nice to me, and that was an awesome experience and a great memory. But I think like in general, people that are thinking of the employee store on any campus as being like Valhalla for sneakers or something, like that's not really the experience.
I think that this is a flip for me. You know, I feel like these are those rare pictures.
You flipping the
of
lacrosse stick around like this? What are you flipping?
Oh, God. No. These are those rare pictures 20 years from now that when you pull them up, it's like, oh, wow, this autographed lacrosse picture of Sean Evans. You get a little peyote on it.
Sean, by the way, before we get out of here, we want to breeze to the comment section and see what people have been saying about us on YouTube, which, as you well know, is always a fun time. We have one comment from Jason Bennell saying, big shout out to Brendan Dunne for dishing out a fresh patch of full-size puns week after week. Woo! You're welcome for that. Matt Gregg saying, love watching the show every Thursday. Makes me feel better after taking L's on the Supreme drop. Matt, we wish you so much more than luck. And patience is a virtue saying, I can never help two-stepping to the theme song. We would love to see that on your TikTok account. Sean, any other recommendations in terms of how we can get these comments more poppin'? We need more views, more comments, more subs, etc.
I think you guys have the most important thing, and that is a cult audience. People who watch Full Size Run are they're watching for you guys. And even for me, you know, I'm not like in the world of sneakers so much, but like the show is just good. The balance is good. The dynamic is good. You know, like you all have your roles and
we
you
can't
plan
get a
so
slightly
well.
better adjective than good?
It's great. I mean, even like when you guys are on the set, you know, Trinidad's closest to the guest, which is good because Trinidad is usually the calming force and energy on set. Brendan, you do a great job of keeping the structure, and you're very well researched.
You don't know nothing about those.
Oh, turned into Saucony later on.
Yeah.
Come on to my show talking about you don't know about those.
Yeah, I like that.
And then my favorite thing is Welty isn't another zip code on the set. He's just all the way over on the other side, lobbing shots over the fence. And I think that dynamic, that has to just come together magically. But the most important thing is that foundational cult audience, and you guys have that. Where the fuck are people gonna go? Like, I see Bleacher Report put up sneaker shows and shit. Like, who's, you know, I think that you should just own that those who know, come to you guys. I think that's the most important thing, and you guys have it.
There we go. Quote, you guys have the most important thing, end quote. That's the pull quote for the big IMAX poster or whatever. And don't forget the Reebok Hot Ones collaborations releases at midnight on the 18th at Reebok.com. 3 pairs. They will be going fast. Thank you so much, Sean. This has been another episode of Full Size Run. I'm your co-host, Brendan Dunne.
I'm Matt Welty.
Woo, James.
And this was Sean Evans with us.
Hey, Hot Ones. Subscribe. Support us all. Complex fam. It's always good when you see it come together.
Hit him with that.
She want every color, that's a full size. Buy a 6 for my kids, bought a 7 for my chick.
Guys, what's going on? It's Dad here. I love you so much, but I'ma love you more when you subscribe. Because this is FSR, this is season 8. And we're killing it. We've been killing it for 7 goddamn seasons. And we want you to subscribe. The ones who have already subscribed, We love you. But we want you to tell 2 more people to subscribe because we want to get to 500K. 500K.
It's that simple.
Brendan, tell them what's up.
I also want this. I want you to be shopping on shop.complex.com. If you want full-size ring gear, merch, things like that, that's where you go to get it. So please.
And if you want to buy any of the sneakers that we talk about on the episode, just go to the Soul Collector app. Don't be in our DMs asking where we can get them. It's the best marketplace to buy sneakers on the internet.
Simple as that.
That's simple.
Dad, FS Army, we love you.